Back live, Two Hotheads, where activism happens, and we got a full studio now, and the big news, who's here? Who's co-hosting today?
Who is co-hosting today?
Do the people know yet?
I don't know if they know.
It's Frank Capone.
This is Frank Capone. Hello, everybody. Oh, come on, stop it.
And we're drinking beers, doing dabs.
Dab.
But I'm not for dabs. I didn't know.
I don't even know what dabs are. What's dabs?
I did one. That's it.
Oh, I don't even know what it is. Apparently, I'm not hip enough.
It's a little buzz.
Okay.
But that's all we're going to say about that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But I'm drinking Grape Aid.
Grape Aid is good stuff.
And I'm going to have a beer after the show.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So, Frank, you're here.
I am here. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're going to be coming in probably about this time every week because we do the news with Casey Hoy, and you work another job. You're a busy man.
A little bit, yep.
And
the family and the work.
You run right over here, and you're going to be co-hosting for a little bit.
Yeah,
with us.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. It's good to be here.
Glad to have you.
I'm glad.
Yeah. This is funny. So, anyways, we're happy, and we're doing our thing today, and we have a guest. Frank, you're gonna say the name because I always fuck up the names.
Matt Crowitz.
That's me. Hi, everyone.
Everyone say hi to Matt.
Hey, Matt. Who's been sitting in the studio for a while, listening to the show. Matt.
Yeah.
Matthew. We're our big thing today is the Aaron Swartz.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a protest on Monday.
There's a protest Monday at noon at the Moakley Courthouse.
Tell us about this protest. What's it about? Who's going to be there? What do you expect? Tell us about what's recently happened on these protests.
So this is a protest brought about as part of the Op Angel series of protests that Anonymous announced after Aaron Swartz unfortunately took his life. Specifically, we in this particular part of the protest here in Boston, we're targeting, I think, the root of the cause, Carmen Ortiz. Her office is here. She regularly hangs out at the Moakley Courthouse, and we have some lovely banners, and we hope to make a big noise to ask for her job. We'd like her job to go to somebody else, anybody else. Kermit the Frog would do a better job.
Wow. And do you think that this protest also hopes that some of these laws in our favor are enacted federally and statewide that the ACLU is supporting? And
so there are a number of reforms. Aaron's law is out there. Obviously, Congressman Issa is doing fantastic work in his committee in trying to answer some tough questions about what happened in the prosecutor's office and why they chose to go down the road that they chose to go down. Me personally, I'm not part of the anonymous movement. While I believe information has a real need to be free, I'm not part of that cause. The reason I'm here and the reason why I support Aaron Swartz, or I support the memory of Aaron Swartz and the legacy of Aaron Swartz, is prosecutorial overreach and prosecutorial misconduct are frankly scaring me as an American. I have two daughters, and I don't want them growing up in a country where, they could be pulled over for nothing, brought in for nothing, and then be told that there's a 10-year sentence over their head unless they plead guilty to this little misdemeanor right here, just so a prosecutor can get their win-loss column right.
Yeah.
This is blackmail. It's been happening in the drug war for the last 20 years. And now it's happening in the intellectual or the hacker world, for lack of a better phrase. These are kids who are working on political causes, and they're being sent to jail for possibly 50, 100. Barrett Brown's looking at 100 years. Hammond's.
Why should we lose him? I want Barrett to be out. I want to be able to communicate with him. I want to be able to work with him.
Forget about communicate, work with him. Wouldn't he be? Let's talk about it just in the whole global macro sense. Isn't he a more productive member of society? Actually,
than most people,
applying his brain and trying to solve problems than sitting in a prison and learning how to be a career criminal. I mean, he's in jail right now. Hammond, they just took to solitary confinement. That's a form of torture. I mean, the U.S. government, the military judge at Bradley Manning's trial said that the way the U.S. government does solitary confinement, or the way they did it with Bradley Manning, was literally torture. And now Hammond's thrust into solitary confinement. What are they doing with him? Are they subjecting him to the same quote unquote suicide watches that they did on Manning? We don't know, because he doesn't have access to his family. He has limited access to his attorneys, and he's being treated as if he were the worst of the worst criminals. He's being treated worse than rapists. He's being treated worse than murderers. And the same was true with Aaron Swartz. Now, Aaron Swartz was fortunate. He was able to post bail, so he was out on his own. But he was still facing the same amount of time. He was still facing a felony conviction, regardless whether he pled guilty or not. He would have had a felony conviction on his record.
He was either going to have to say what he did was wrong, which he didn't believe,
well, let's take
heart, and take a plea, or he's going to look at
absolutely,
how much time.
and that's the Sophie's choice that prosecutors think is fine in this country right now. Yeah. That's justice in America. But even look at it from another perspective. Aaron Swartz is a very, very smart man. He went to MIT. He went. I don't know his whole lineage, but this is a man who's going to have to use computers to earn a living, to be able to feed his family, to be able to marry his girlfriend, or do whatever he wants to do with his life to live with liberty in this country. And what ended up happening is he was given a choice. You can plead guilty to a felony, which would mean you're not going to be able to touch a computer for the 6 months you're in jail, plus the 2 to 5 years you'll be on probation afterwards. We're going to also take away your money. Part of the plea deal was $1 million fine. So he got a bunch of money because he was part of the whole Reddit founding.
But
he cashed out of that. So the government looked at that and said,
payday.
It's time to get our bonuses. So they're looking for fund seizure. They're looking to ruin this kid's life for what?
They're pirates.
Yeah,
for what?
For nothing. Because what didn't the company that for the information that he released, didn't they realize that what Aaron did was the right thing to do? That this information.
Not only did they realize it, after his leak, they released it. It's free now.
Yeah,
the very information he's accused of supposedly stealing.
Aaron freed that information.
Yeah,
is free, and
he paid his life for it to free that information.
He literally paid his life for it, and it's.
That's you know what I'm saying.
You want to talk about crimes against humanity? You want to talk about injustice? You just have to look no further than the U.S. justice system. The system is broken. It's broken to its core. And Aaron Swartz is a great example of how it's broken. But there are so many other examples,
and especially federally. The federal U.S. justice system is just so corrupt.
But you see shenanigans in the state
courts,
too.
No, you do, but it's just that stakes are so much higher. They have so much more power. They have such a higher conviction rate. To try to beat a federal case is nearly impossible, especially when you have 40 counts.
Yeah. Absolutely. Earlier in the podcast during the news, you alluded to Elizabeth Warren in her testimony at the Banking Committee hearing. I mean, she alluded to this very problem too. She said, "Look, you have these example prosecutions for all sorts of crimes, whether it be hacking, whether it be for child porn, whether it be for human trafficking. You have these example cases. You don't go after everybody. You just find the big kingpin and you take them down." How many bankers have you brought down? And that one question stymied the entire panel of federal regulators. None of them could answer a single question about any.
And she talked about taking them to court to charge them.
Yeah, why have you not charged them criminally?
And they're like, "Oh, well, we just fine them. We fine them the most that we can. We make a deal with them not to go to court."
Yeah, but
it's like. That's not waging war.
And by the way,
you should be waging war. You should be taking people into fucking court because that's bad for the image of those corporations.
Absolutely.
That's what they fear the most. They don't want to be in court.
But it's good for the status quo, is what it is. Well, it's about maintaining the status quo because these people who are bankers, are the people that they pay a fine, but they also pay for the campaigns of those people, that are sitting in those seats that are supposed to be protecting the people's rights, And so they go after people like Aaron, because they have to make an example of him, Because if they don't make an example of him, the next guy that comes around, might do something even more brash, And not to say that even like releasing that information was a brash move or whatever. It was the right thing to do, in my opinion.
By the way, the information was never actually released. He just downloaded it. He violated the terms of service of J-Stor. He downloaded it en masse and was prepared to release it.
Yeah, he never actually released
the data.
Oh, he just got caught on the cameras.
He was caught hacking. Yeah. He was accused of hacking.
He had rights to be on the service, didn't he?
He put his laptop in the MIT closet.
He went into a closet. He put his
laptop into the MIT closet.
Okay, all right.
Wrote a little robot program that sat there and just sucked down all the J-Stor documents. Getting ready to.
He went CIA on MIT's ass. I mean, come on. This is the school that
and it got noticed because it brought down MIT's network.
Yeah, and this is the school that hacking. And innovation is world renowned. You don't punish people when they put the truck on the dome there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this place is like, I live in Cambridge. I live right next to MIT. And when I'm walking down the street, if I see something weird at MIT, it's probably a prank or a hack. And it's celebrated at MIT.
Yeah.
But not in this case.
Well, in this case, MIT didn't clearly tell the prosecutor and Carmen Ortiz. Hammond, you were talking about Hammond the other. I believe he's the federal prosecutor who was actually assigned to the case.
Yes.
And he didn't want to show affection to his girlfriend.
Yes.
I think personally because he didn't want to show vulnerability to this guy. Yeah. He really felt like he was fighting this guy for his life.
Oh, yeah.
Quite literally, it turns out. And showing any...
And they'll go in there and they'll say, oh, you like your girlfriend?
Yeah, well...
You want us to charge her? We got this on her.
On her,
we'll
an
do
accomplice,
this.
yeah.
She called, she knew this, she... Blah, blah, blah,
Absolutely. It's all about predatory prosecution, getting your win-loss column right, having your scapegoat appropriately scapegoated, but it's the stratification of justice that I so object to in this country. You see people who are too big to arrest. I mean, Elizabeth Warren... I'm not an Elizabeth Warren fan, or I haven't been up to this point. But I mean, she said, I'm afraid that too big to fail has become too big to arrest. And I'm like, a woman after my heart. Seriously. This is the right way to go.
Elizabeth.
We need to reinstitute the concept of justice in this country, and that doesn't mean putting a kid who has, a half an ounce of weed in his pocket away for 10 years, or give him the choice of rolling over on the guy who sold it to him. I mean, that's just ridiculous, and it's the same concept now. It's justice not served.
Absolutely. Thank you. And this protest is going on Monday. This Monday.
Monday at noon. At the Moakley Courthouse in the bitter, bitter cold. Bundle up. We've got banners. We want to make a lot of noise. I can tell you the last time we were out there with banners, the most telling part of the protest, I think, was the suits walking out of the courthouse.
Yeah.
I think they're kind of used to seeing protesters out there. Virtually all of them did a double, triple take on our banners. Carmen Ortiz, your frickin' naming this woman? Holy crap. You want her job? Yes, I want her job, and I want every other federal attorney's job and every other federal prosecutor's job who, in my name, kills, makes people abrogate their morals, makes people do things that they don't believe in simply because they need to get their win-loss column in the right area. It's wrong, and it's not American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a phone call. Let's take the phone call.
Awesome.
Hi. Hello.
Hi, this is Anonymous calling in from Mike Can.
How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
We're doing great. We got a full studio. We're talking to Matthew. Tell us about what you're doing in this protest.
I'm obviously with helping with the Anonymous organization with Up Angel Phase 3. We've been doing Phase 2. We were out there planning and organizing, and we got about 40, 50 people out there for the first turnout, and this was all just really quick right after Aaron's death and all.
It was 2 weeks to the day, I think.
So right now we're just trying to promote, and right now I think we've been talking about moving forward with, from this Monday forward, every 2 weeks we're going to go and protest at the Department of Justice at the courthouse until she is either resigned or removed from her position as district attorney.
Wow. I support that.
Every 2 weeks, every other week on Monday.
That's awesome to know, because I'm bummed. I can't go to this one. I never work on Mondays usually, and this week they put me on the schedule, and I can't get it off.
We just want her to start off her week bad.
So, yeah, I love this. And I'll try to get the word out to anyone I know, and the media definitely, and I think Frank will too.
Yep,
and
I surely will. Share it on Facebook, and, we got, you guys, Anonmass came out and supported us when we did our Defend the Fourth rally, so we're definitely behind you guys on this, and we're going to get as many people out there as we can.
Thank you. I had a question about other cities. Is this is happening in another city, isn't it?
Los Angeles.
This is going down actually in L.A. as well. They're at the Department of Justice in L.A. for their federal courthouse as well.
Awesome.
And this is all going to be happening at the same time at 12 p.m., but it's going to be 12 p.m. their time. Obviously, they're going to be couple hours behind us,
and you guys got a lot of media. The last time I saw a lot, the Phoenix was all over it, covering it. This is
we got Herald.
Yeah, the Herald too.
Yep.
What did was the Herald coverage good or was it bad?
Honestly,
we got actually front page of their online site, so that was great.
Wow,
and it was largely positive coverage. I mean, the Herald has obviously a lot of... I have a lot of issues with the Herald's editorial staff. And they actually sent a really green reporter out. I think this was her first story. I think she had said that.
What's her name?
I don't recall her name.
Is it Hillary Chabot?
I don't know.
No,
I couldn't tell you. But she was out there. She listened to everybody. It was a great event because we had so many people out there giving fantastic speeches, impassioned pleas for justice, impassioned pleas for reforming the code and the laws that allow our prosecutors to act this way. And she covered it both on video and in writing really well. I thought she gave it good coverage, which surprised me, quite honestly.
Cool. Well, I'm going to look that up.
Of course, it was also the same week that Carmen Ortiz lost her bid to take the hotel of the gentleman who up on Route 1. There's a gentleman who's been there's a drugs trial going on.
Yep.
He has a hotel. It's been in his family for 2 generations.
Yep.
Caswell,
yep.
Yep. He's been in his family for 2 generations. Cops did a few drug busts a few years back, and they decided that his business was a establishment of drug distribution and attempted to seize it as part of the federal drug seizure laws. More federal prosecutorial.
But he had never committed any crime.
And he was not being charged.
He had never been committed. With
It was just
crime.
because he's in a rundown area, and there's a lot of drugs there, and he has a hotel that's fairly affordable. Of course, there's going to be some drug issues. He's trying to stop it. It's the federal government saw a big piece of land that they could steal.
Yep.
And they lost. And these
they
people
lost.
are pirates.
They lost with a big smackdown. I mean, the judge wrote this was absolutely
Carmen Ortiz. Same prosecutor. She needs to go. And I agree 100% with you guys. We need Carmen Ortiz gone, and it's time to send a message. This bullshit. We're here. We should be protesting every 2 weeks. I love this friggin' idea. I'm going to be down there.
Everybody hates Mondays, so let's make Carmen Ortiz hate her Monday a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well said.
And we're going to thank you so much for calling and helping us organize this and promoting it on your Twitter and doing everything that you're doing there.
Hey, no problem. We're just trying to do the right thing and have this overbearing tyrant removed from her prosecutorial duties.
I think that's the right word. She's a tyrant. There's no other way to praise it.
I mean, just to do that to people, to break people in such a fashion, and to go after them for absolutely, really no reason, in the case of Aaron Swartz. But this is like you were talking about, this is a systemic problem, Like if you look at what was going on with the anarchists over in Oregon,
Yep, great example. Exactly.
They put those folks in solitary confinement,
for not ratting on people.
For choosing not to testify against their friends in a grand jury, which is just ridiculous.
Not answer questions.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
For taking the Fifth Amendment.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's crazy even itself that you can get called to a grand jury and you can't invoke your Fifth Amendment right because they give you immunity. So it's we're going to give you immunity. Well, I didn't ask for immunity. I don't want immunity.
It's a common tactic.
It's crazy. And the kind of the little mechanisms that these folks are, these people are using, these prosecutors are using in order to break people's spirits, and ultimately driving someone like Aaron Swartz to commit suicide, It's disgusting. And they deserve to be prosecuted, for the what they're doing.
Absolutely.
It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Thank you for calling. Can you say your Twitter name, what you go by again, sir?
My Twitter handle is AnonInMass.
I gotta say, it's one of my favorite anonymous Twitter handles. That's
I
awesome.
follow it. It's one of my favorites too, especially because it's local. I love the anonymous angle. I love that it's local. Thank you for calling and supporting and doing what you're doing.
Hey, thanks, guys, for your support, too.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Have a good day, guys.
Actually, there's another recent example of prosecutorial overreach that was recently not in the papers but should have been, and that's the DA's decision to drop all charges against the Occupy Boston Occupy Boston protesters. I mean, they did not give these guys their day in court. They dragged them through the mud. Their DNA, their fingerprints, their photos are in the system for the rest of their lives.
They took their DNA?
That's part of standard
processing.
On what
grounds?
That's standard processing anymore.
What?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so.
No, well, maybe.
No, they don't take your, they don't take your DNA to
I don't
convicted.
think so.
To get convicted.
Anyway,
But
they took they took their fingerprints and their photograph.
They definitely take that. Yeah.
It's in the federal.
No one took my DNA when I got arrested for marijuana.
They have an arrest record unless someone chooses to
expunge it. Maybe they did for the
it.
Occupies though.
Yeah.
They were forced to come to court multiple times. They had to discuss the fact that they were arrested with their employers, with their families.
Yeah.
And their arrest was unconstitutional.
Yeah, it was.
Do they have the opportunity to sue now?
There's talk about a civil action being brought against the state, or in the city, I should say. And I hope that they do. I hope that there certainly seems to be grounds for it.
The most ridiculous thing about that whole thing was when you find out that the government was spying on Occupy Boston.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Like, seriously, are you really? I mean,
was there any doubt when a federal employee literally struck Robin the night of our eviction?
Yeah.
I mean, literally. Robin Jacks. Cock the wagon.
Yeah.
She was mugged the night of Occupy's eviction, and her phone was taken
by a
federal officer. He was a. I
don't know if we should be making.
No, it's true. He was a federal officer. He pled guilty, or he didn't get pled. I don't remember what the deal is. He was an air marshal. He's a federal employee.
Yeah.
That's just freaking random.
Do you have that on camera?
Yes, we do. We got it on the live stream, and that's the only reason why it's come out.
All right, I want to see that. Post that link up on Twitter.
I will. Oh, I'll have to find it.
That's old. That's like, the cops are watching everyone. You know, the cops are watching everyone.
We need to take a break. We need to. Okay. We're going to take a break.
It's great being here, guys.
Yeah, we want to thank you for coming in.
Thanks for doing what you do.
And if you want to hang out for a little while, that'd be cool. Cause
I got kids at home. I got to get home.
You got kids. Okay.
Baby gotta eat.
Yep.
Baby gotta go home. We got Ben Wickler. We're gonna be talking to.
Awesome.
Who was a friend of Aaron Swartz. He has a show that he did where Aaron was the producer. So we're going to talk to him, and we're going to take a break, come back with him.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Completely uncensored radio on Regular Radio.